Sounds like I'm obsessed with these animals. But
You
before
are
I ask
though.
the question, I should probably clear up that last podcast when we were like, is this a great shark? Is it not? I think we were both like, no, it's not. Turns out it was.
Yeah, I
But,
felt really stupid after that.
well, it was sort of hard to tell. But it was a great white, but it was filmed off the coast of Australia in like 2008, and someone like clipped a little piece of the footage and said it was off the coast of Galway, and a bunch of tabloids said this 100% confirms that great white sharks are swimming around Ireland.
Mm,
But it was a hoax. And I put a
not true.
link.
Not this time.
Not this time.
We made it up.
We made it up.
It's fiction. But we didn't make it up. But I put a link to the original video under our video so you can check for yourself. But anyway, speaking of great white sharks, where would you go to find a great white shark?
Sri Lanka? Isn't that what we said? Sri Lanka or San Francisco?
Okay. Anywhere
Is
else?
that correct? Weren't there like good places to see them around Sri Lanka? And
I
then
can't remember about that. Maybe though. I mean, they are. It sounds about right.
also, I don't know, Australia.
Mm-hmm.
A lovely seaside resort on the East Coast. Just pick one that has a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I don't know. Aren't
Yeah.
they like all over?
They are all over. Yeah. So my next question is, are they all the same?
No, they all have individual brains, thoughts, and feelings, I'm sure.
Every shark is unique. Are they all the same kind of great white?
Maybe they have subspecies. I don't really know. You're the one who's cold calling me and asking me questions about sharks, and you should know by now that I don't think about sharks as much as you do, so I don't know everything.
You need to let that go. But I'm not. This isn't a trick. I'm just like trying to ask questions to stir up the conversation, like you did with me.
Well,
And
I
I
don't
don't
know.
get angry and say, no, they don't use robots, even though I said nothing about a robot. You just put that in there, and you're like, oh, I bet he'll say this to dope.
No, I was just saying that some people try to use robots to map the seafloor, but that's not necessarily the cheapest option. It was an attack, but now I feel attacked.
And you should. Well, no, there doesn't seem to be subspecies, but there does seem to be different populations, 3 distinct ones. So the way they determined this, I tried to read the paper a few times. It's sort of technical, so you might have to help me a little bit.
It
But
was too hard
have
for
you heard of what's an SNP?
I don't know. No, I don't
It's
know.
a single It's a single
Oh, a single
nucleotide.
nucleotide polymorphism?
Yeah. So my understanding of this was that like
I think
take
we
some
used to
notes
call
down.
them SNPs.
Yeah, I've read that as well. So nucleotides, there's 4 different types. Is that right?
Yeah.
A, C, G, and T.
Yep, all featured in the title of the movie Gattaca. That's how you can remember if you ever forget.
Oh. So, from my understanding, is that in the DNA sequence of these, to determine that these were different populations, is that some populations had a nucleotide with like an A, and then different ones had a different nucleotide that could have been like a G.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, read the actual paper if you want to understand it properly. Yeah, so basically it seems like there are 3 different populations. Any guess why this is?
Because they don't move around very much and they don't interact, maybe? They have specific regions they like to stay in?
Sort of. So they
Different
are
foods they eat?
Well, why do you think they split in the first place?
Personal differences? Or ocean currents?
Kind of. Apparently, it happened during the last ice age, so different sea levels as well as different currents. Yeah, it caused them to maybe split. So now there's the 3 different types in 3 different areas. Do you want to try and guess?
Okay, like
So just
Indian
like
Ocean,
region.
Pacific
So
Ocean,
Indo-Pacific.
Atlantic Ocean.
North Pacific and Atlantic/Mediterranean. Yep. And they split probably like 150 to 200,000 years ago. And now we have 3 different populations of white sharks.
Which one do you like the best?
I feel sorry for the Atlantic/Mediterranean because I think it's the most endangered.
They also have to live in the coldest water, but also some of the nicest water. The Mediterranean is nice, but the North Atlantic is cold.
Okay, should we move on?
Subscribe to the YouTube channel for full episodes or download the MP3 from the links below.